So we're given a natural log and a square root function that is f of x, and we're asked for double prime, so again we want the second derivative. That's one important thing. The next thing is to recognize what are the rules that I'm going to use. Well, here I don't just have the square root of x, I have the square root of kx, so that's an inner function, so I'm going to use the chain rule. So in my first case, I'm going to set this up as my inner function is equal to u is equal to kx, and then v is equal to that inner function of u to the 1/2 power. And my chain rule says that I multiply the derivative of the inner and the outer. So I'm going to have u prime times v prime is equal to this first derivative. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. U prime will just be k, and here v prime will equal 1/2, bringing that power down, u, and when I subtract 1, I'm going to get negative 1/2. It's going to also look like 1 over 2 u to the positive 1/2, or just square root of u. Remembering that u was really kx. So we have v prime equaling 1 over 2 square root of kx, and u prime equaling k, and these two things are going to multiply. U prime is k. The outer derivative with the inner plugged back in is 1 over 2 times the square root of kx. So as we look at our f prime of x, the first part of it coming from this term is k in the numerator, 2 times the square root of kx in the denominator, minus, well, the derivative of ln of x is 1 over x. So that's our first derivative. So that I can apply the power rules again, I'm going to write this a little bit differently. We're going to write this as k times kx to the negative 1/2 all over 2 minus x to the negative 1. Now we can apply the power rule again. This is going to come down. Negative 1k over 4, because of that 1/2, times kx. When we subtract 1, now we're going to be looking at negative 3 over 2. And we do have an inner function here. So we're going to also multiply times k, because the derivative of this inner is k. Minus, well, we're going to bring this down. Negative and a negative make a positive, x to the negative 2 power. Now we'll rewrite this into a form more like what we started with. This is equal to negative k squared all over 4 times the square root of kx to the 3rd power in the denominator plus 1 over x squared. One thing to keep in mind too, especially since it looks like the AP test is going to be all constructed response, there would be nothing wrong with leaving your answer as in red. You wouldn't have to simplify it back to blue.